Welcome to day number 6 of the Untangling Overwhelming Emotions Challenge. Today, I want you to walk away with one very important sentence in your head. Don't fight alone. My name is Sven Lauch and I'm an emotional logic coach. I help people to move that inner dialogue from behavior and emotions and feelings to values, identity, and action plans. I basically teach people all the time to untangle their emotions so that they can make constructive plans to personally grow, to learn about themselves, and to move forward. Now, don't fight alone when you are overwhelmed, when you are anxious, when you feel depressed, when you feel frozen within yourself. I shared my story over the last few days where I felt anxious for a few days. And one of the first things that I did was just going to my wife and say, I'm really anxious. I'm feeling frozen in myself. I just don't really know what is going on right now. And it's so helpful to understand that I don't have to sit here at home and have to try to make everything happen on my own. I have, fortunately, a very nice and safe marriage where I can share those things with my wife. I know that if it comes to us fighting together, I know she will come and become part of that fight. But I'm also not alone outside of my marriage. I have a great network of people. I have a mentor, but I also have a whole network of people from the church that I know if it really comes to needing additional support, needing help, or having a person that I can just talk to, that I can share my burdens with, I know that I'm not alone. I am part of a wider network of people. I can offer other people support, and they will offer me support. So I want you to know, please don't try to fight alone. In our society, we are conditioned to fight alone. Just think about school. It's about grades, and it's about who's the better person, who had the better grade. We're not really taught to collaborate, to work together, to fight together, to form a group where we can be accountable and move forward, where we can support each other. You might have even grown up in a family where your emotions were not validated, where your emotions were not affirmed, where your values were not affirmed. And you will grow up and feel later on in life that you don't have permission to feel affirmed. You don't have permission to feel appreciated. Your childhood is not your fault. But also when your parents might have missed to help you, that is not necessarily their fault because they might have not learned that for themselves. But I want to encourage you to not fight alone. Get out of that loneliness. Begin to connect with people. Begin to build relationships. I know it's a hard journey. I've been there. I've really had to force myself. After that season over Christmas and New Year, I have just become really aware that I'm just not asking for help often enough. I shared, for instance, that I've learned that I struggle to build relationships. I've set up a meeting with a friend who I believe is really good at that. And so we are going to have a chat over lunch. And because I know him and we see each other multiple times, I can also ask him, how I mentioned yesterday, to hold me accountable. How's it going? How's your follow-up going? How's your relationship building going? I'm not alone. I'm not fighting alone anymore. I can now move things gradually forward, knowing that I am part of a bigger group of people. So don't try to fight it alone. And often we can't do that alone. We can't untangle overwhelming emotions alone. We need some help to move slowly forward. And if you don't have a network, or you want to go for something where you feel like there's more a professional approach, then hey, maybe you look for a therapist, a counselor, or you just make contact with me. I'm an emotional logic coach. I can teach you a skill set to untangle your emotions. As I mentioned in one of the other videos, we use cards to highlight your emotional patterns. As I coach you, we begin to discover old stories that hold you back, that hold you down, that hold you in that emotional prison. Don't fight alone. Make contact. Let's get things moving. I have so many beautiful stories. I remember this one dad one day calling me and say, "Hey Sven, my son just came to me and said like, 'Hey dad, you're much calmer. What happened?'" Or this other client who said like, "Wow, it really feels like a new beginning." Don't fight alone. Emotional logic has one really big advantage. I want to teach you the skills, and I want to hold you accountable to build those relationships, to find those safe places, and to find those safe people so that you can constantly work on yourself through the rest of your life. Tomorrow, I want to talk about motivation. How do we stay motivated? How can we, when it gets tough, keep going? So I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. My name is Sven.